Hey, welcome to AMAI with Justin and Chris. It is Tuesday morning, January 30th, and we're going to look at some stuff.
Yeah. And today we're actually going to dive deeper into one of the ones that we covered in our Blitz on the last episode. And we're going to look at recraft.ai.
Recraft.ai. So let's get it rolling here and take a look. So here's Recraft. So Recraft, this touches my heart because this is made for designers, and I am a designer. So creating visually consistent graphics, the first generative AI design tool that lets users create and edit digital illustrations, vector art, icons, 3D graphics, and uniform brand style. So just before we get started here, and before we start to look at this, here's like kind of where we are right now in terms of like where the state of image generation is, and sort of like from a industry perspective, where it works really well and where it doesn't work really well. So as somebody who produces graphics almost on a daily basis and has to design things on almost a daily basis. Obviously, I use AI, DALL-E, Midjourney, that kind of thing. The challenge with DALL-E and Midjourney is that while they can create some really exceptional stuff, is that it's raster. So for those of you who aren't designers and don't know what I mean by that, it means that like all the layers, all the little parts of the illustration, you can't manage, you can't do anything with them. It's all just like a one thing that you can't modify. And that's problematic because if you want to change the color of one little part, or you want to remove a little bit or something like that, it becomes difficult. You have to use a photo editor in kind of a weird way, and it's not the easiest way to work, right? And so while it is impressive what can be generated, still lacks some flexibility. So what you really want is you want something that's vector-based. Vector-based means that all the little parts of the image you can manipulate and you can edit after it's created, and you can keep modifying and that kind of thing. And that's kind of the panacea as a designer.
In addition, vector graphics are infinitely scalable. And so that's like so obvious that Justin, he forgets to mention it. But for most people, bitmaps are stuck at the size they're generated at. Where vectors, you can scale. And so when you see, besides photos, when you see any marketing, a billboard, etc., everything is done in vector because you can just create it in any size and scale it to any size. And
exactly.
in addition to what Justin was complaining about, in terms of vector versus bitmap, the other thing that's really, really hard to do with this generative AI is actually get things to be consistent in terms of a style. You're going to have like, I run an image 50 times and they're going to be roughly the same, but it's not going to be like I can use the same teddy bear to do a story for my daughter's book very easily, right? As an example, which, by the way, we played with this during the summer. We created a little drawing book for her, but every bear was different, right? Like there was very hard
to keep. So it's hard to have a character that persists through a narrative, right? Yeah.
So let's check it out.
Cool. Let's go. Let's sign up for Recraft. Let's see what we can get in here. So it talks about vector. It talks about a lot of other cool things that we're going to look at here. So we will jump in and let's take a look and see what this does for us. Okay, so we're going to use this for work. I am a software developer, probably more than I'm a designer, graphic artist, but I don't know, probably both. What do you plan to create with Recraft? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Have you ever used AI design tools? Yes, I quite.
Have we used AI tools before?
How did you hear about Recraft? From a friend. Okay, let's Recraft. Here we go. All right. So, look at this. Hang on. Let's just I hope if I refresh this does this again. I've never seen this onboarding pattern before.
Well, you have that is on your mobile phone.
Not where the full UI zooms out and then there's annotations around the edges.
Well, it's really pretty.
It's really interesting. Huh. Okay. So +1. And then it just comes back in. Stop. That is a really, really sexy interaction. That is like super hot.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's making me inappropriately happy.
I mean, like, like what that is, what that's like, what that reminds me of is where you have like at the beginning of a movie, they'll like a still shot and then the still shot turns into the motion shot. That's like the exact same kind of transition, right?
I've
Really
never
cool.
seen that.
I've never seen that either. I mean,
that is really
plus
cool.
100 points already, Recraft. I hope your tool doesn't suck because I really want to like it now. Okay. Edit the text to generate a new image. So change the word cucumber. So I love this, by the way. This is going to be like a UX thing as well as like look at this thing. But by the way, what an amazing onboarding experience already. The little preview, the snap back into full, into the motion of the movie. And now the canvas is set up with all of these great little things like edit the text to generate a new image. This is clearly the first thing that I'm supposed to do. They're trying to teach me about the prompts and how to use the prompts here. This is amazing, right? So change the word cucumber in the left panel to tomato and click recraft. I mean,
wait, type pumpkin. I want to see what happens if you don't follow instructions.
Oh, I like it.
Sorry, I have to break the rules.
Of course. Well, I mean, there's only one way to test it, right?
Right.
And that's to really test it. Don't follow the script.
Yeah, by the way, guys, you can tell that I used to like manage QA, right?
So here's my question is, okay, great. It did a pumpkin, a
Yep.
very cute pumpkin. I don't know if it got it right or not. I don't know how to judge if it's correct.
I think
But
you're
let's not worry about that.
follow the steps. The next one.
Yeah. Images can be done square. Press L to select the create image tool. Okay. L. Draw a rectangle with desired aspect ratio. Write the description for your image. Click recraft. Homer Simpson cyberpunk. I mean, drinking a smoothie because of
I was gonna say an acid smoothie.
An acid smoothie. Oh, oh man.
That's part of the reason I love the AI image generators. You can just go nuts and end up with the craziest things.
Oh, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. So interesting. All right. So here's a also, by the way,
it's vector
scalability. It's vector. So there's our Homer Simpson cyberpunk drinking a smoothie, which I mean, I don't know that it really is that, but okay, whatever. It's kind of cool to see what it does. This is a vector illustration. You change the color of vector images. So this is what we were talking about. This is cool. Look at these pre-built palettes. That is really hot. That is fascinating. So what if oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is, I've never seen that. They have actually innovated in a lot of ways over and above the AI. They like this way of changing the palettes to these kind of monochrome, not monochrome, but like whatever these palettes are.
Well, like preset, hey, 5 or 6 different colors, and we can just change them all.
Well, it's really interesting to me. I mean, if I thought about it, I could figure out how they did this. Probably.
Well,
But
actually,
like
go back to the image real quick. I'm just fascinated. Go back to the image where you had that now, and click flat 2.0. Click that. Now here's your different styles, right?
Yeah, so we can recraft it now. And so what that style is doing is essentially like a duotone or a tritone, and they have thought about the layers. Like if you print something like on a t-shirt, if you screen print something, or if you like big industrial printers print in 3 layers, RGB, 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 right? Whatever. Or CMYK, actually, probably. And so what they did for that other one is they like separated those layers and they let you like individually move the layers around in terms of color and tone. It's really interesting. So
I think you can do that here,
vector.
but I think you could do that too here. So how'd you collect that?
Let's see. Yeah, I guess so. So that's what they're doing. So basically the green is like a layer, right? Like the beige-ish color of the skin here is a layer. The red is a layer. The white is a different layer, I bet. And that corresponds to all of these, right? So here's the green, right? So I can change her hair to blue, purplish. Oh, but it doesn't do it at all. Interesting. Oh, because that's probably this one. Yeah, interesting. And this is going to be her. Oh, no, that's kind of everything. Okay, that one did not.
We'll click just a random palette, right? What's
Yeah.
interesting is the explorability is something that I talk about, I think, with you a lot. I don't know if we talk about on the show a lot, but this is a very designer and actually an even non-designer friendly, explorable tool. Like, oh, I don't like this. Let's just switch, plunk it around a little bit and see what it looks like.
They've done a really, really good job. Okay. This dog has an extra head. Click on the image and choose the erase image. So I can say or erase region, and I can go, oh, doggy, get rid of your second head, doggy. And then if I delete this, and I didn't do it perfectly,
On purpose.
kind of hastily did it. Okay. I
Not
mean,
perfect. Not perfect.
not perfect, but
kind of matched the quality of your drawing.
yeah, basically. So it doesn't make up for stupid, but um, let's see if
I
it gets
see.
this.
I see. One of the things I like is they have erase region. Very, very okay. So the eraser tool isn't perfect yet, but the wording. I love the fact that there's there's the literal icon and the text erase region, and then I love the fact that there's the word recolor and replace background explicitly, right? Like,
Yeah, it's really really nice. I mean, you can tell that this software is built by people who know how to build software.
and by the way, you see the little layers button on the bottom right corner.
I messed him up. I gave him some kind of weird ear thing.
So Control Z, see what it does.
Oh yeah, it does work. Of course it does, because of course it does.
And it's an infinite canvas. I mean, first of all, any software that's an infinite canvas already gets my vote. I think visually and spatially.
Yeah, same. Yeah, that's why I like live in whiteboards and paper sketches and all of that kind of thing. The bigger the canvas, the better. Very cool. Okay, so now this is interesting. Vectorize. Okay, let's put this to the test. Okay, so let's go to ChatGPT and let's say, can you see ChatGPT on my screen?
I can see ChatGPT on your screen. Why don't you do something from like a Marvel character? Generate like a Marvel superhero version of a dolphin superhero. Completely.
I love it. We're in Florida. Dolphins are kind of our superheroes around here.
Yes. Yes.
Dolphins and manatees. There should be a superhero show that's dolphins and manatees.
That sounds
Sounds like a kid show from the 90s.
it's gonna say it sounds like a kid show from the 90s, or it sounds like an inappropriate show about thin models and not thin models.
Oh, okay, here we go. So here's our guy. Okay, he looks great. He looks very Tony Stark, very Iron Man.
Yeah, it's got the Iron Man thing going on.
Yep. Yep.
It's got the like Spider-Man thing going on too. You see his hand?
Oh, I didn't see his hand.
Spider-Man, like,
Oh yeah, okay. I mean, this is the Tony Stark thing exactly, right? But like also he's got like the hand pose is very much the Spider-Man web shooting pose.
no, it's gonna be interesting.
Okay, this is going to be a hard one, right? Like, I mean, this is a big, complex image. I do not expect this to get this right. I will be floored if it can do anything with this.
By the way,
frankly,
if it does it, like the tool's probably worth the cost just for the vectorization.
there's no doubt. There's no doubt. I mean, like, there's no doubt. I don't think this is going to work though. I don't. Either it's going to change the image drastically. There's no way there's going to be just a transparent, perfect.
Oh, is it done? It's done. Expand it. Oh yeah. Ah!
Are you kidding right now?
All
Are
right.
you kidding right now?
All right. Is it perfect? Let's go ahead and say it. No.
Not perfect, but it is way better than I would have ever.
All right. So now go back to ChatGPT and let's give it a less complex one. Do like a Pixar character of a dolphin with no background.
Generate a simple Pixar like image of a dolphin with no background. Okay.
And so obviously backgrounds are really easy to generate with AI. You can switch them out, etc. So asking with the no background is just to make it easier by asking for simple and Pixar-like. It's going to give a specific style, which theoretically this approach wouldn't have the nuances and the gradients. The gradients are very hard to pull off.
Oh, this is
Right.
perfect.
Yeah.
Look at that cute ass dolphin.
And we did a lot of these
Holy
Pixar
cow.
style, with my daughter, right? But what we did is we asked it to be outlined so that way we could turn it into a coloring book page.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so here's our dolphin. Let's vectorize him. I mean, what this is game changing for is logos.
Um,
So
okay.
look, well, actually, hang on. Hang on. Before we do that, it does change it a little bit, right? And I'm trying to decide if we have any control over that, but I don't think we do.
I don't think so, but I think which this just doesn't just it makes sense, right? It's because shadows and gradients are very hard to vectorize.
Yeah.
If you
Right, right. Oh, that's a good point because there's this shadow, this very gradual shadow. You're exactly right. Like essentially it's trying to do edge detection basically on the different regions and then use that edge detection to split it into layers and then color in the layers with vectors, SVGs. And yeah, the shadows are gonna mess it up.
but now repaint it, right? Yeah, just draw over the thing. Let's see what it's supposed to do.
I guess let's just do this. Real crude. Real crude. Oh wait, oops. I think I had to mess that up. Terrible. Recraft.
Oh, is the
Interesting. So there might be a pipeline here if this works.
Yeah, this is really interesting. And by the way, we like the obvious thing is what the actual
Um. Okay.
oh no. Red
I
Panda
didn't say
Warrior.
recreate. I
No,
said
yeah,
repaint.
you did. You had recraft,
Oh
hit the repaint button. Like hit
well, there's not a repaint button.
okay. Hover over the repaint where I showed you the preview. How do we get the preview?
I'm trying to figure out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's all falling apart now. It's
No.
all we spent too long in the software.
Okay.
Modify the image by adding or changing slow chips. Yeah, see, like you have to. It's
Oh,
like a
it's
remix on Midjourney.
yeah. So you actually have to give it some description. So it had Red Panda Warrior, by the way, when you hit enter, which is why
Right,
it's
which is
removed.
funny because also that is should not actually be valid text. That should be null because that is clearly placeholder. So you shouldn't pass that along. Just by the way, team, just a little tip from your Uncle Justin on that. Don't
All right.
pass that string along. But
So
okay.
let's try the layer tool on this real quick. Oh,
Hang on a second. I'm gonna try this again.
Pixar, give it the exact same quote. So go copy paste it from the other one.
Oh, interesting.
but you don't need to generate. Just a
I'll
simple.
just like Pixar like image of a dolphin with no background.
You forgot the word simple. It's not the same prompt.
That's fair. Let's see what it does.
You remember Soup Nazi from Seinfeld?
I have a picture with him. I had my. Okay, so I mean, it changed it clearly.
Yep.
Um. Oh, look, it made two variations.
Yeah, I did see that almost everywhere. It looks like it creates multiple variations every time you do something.
I mean, it's still cute, right? And then I mean, you could recolor him.
I mean, the recolor blows me away.
The recolor is really pretty cool.
Click
You know, it's
replace,
not perfect. I mean, that's obviously kind of ugly, but
click
like,
replace background. Just we haven't done it yet. It should be stupid
yeah,
easy on this one. Oh, it literally just replaces the background.
it literally just
Okay.
you replace it with something. Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Weird.
All right. So if you click on the layers, the layering tool on the either the there.
Oh, it's image
That's
set.
the
Oh,
image
we
set.
need to do
Oh,
image set.
ooh, we need to do image set. Like
We do need to do image set.
so far, if we want to do shorts, we could do a short on creating a vector from something, right?
Mm,
We could do a short on the color changing, which I think is amazing.
yeah.
And we'll do an image set here.
Yeah. So let's take our dolphin friend here. I'm curious. Actually, let's just create a brand new thing. Let's just like start from
Yep.
scratch.
So
Okay, so
one over the four stacked on top of each other.
oh well, this is I think I have to start with a well, I don't
Oh,
know. Do I have to
let's
start
try.
with a vector or do I start with an image set? I think it's gonna oh no, okay.
Ah, this is so cool. It's for the same style.
Right. So what style do we want to try?
Oh, line art as a style. That's fun.
Still on it.
Sure.
And let's do the first one. Let's do traffic cone,
Okay.
um street light, car is good. Oh look, it actually already had some of these things. That's funny. Um uh
See, you're nicer than I am. I was going to give it like six different buildings, like
tractor.
known buildings.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, to see how good it was.
Empire State Building. Let's see what happens.
I just love architecture.
I majored in it for almost 3 years in college.
I didn't know that.
Went to the University of Tennessee for architecture for almost 3 years, and I left to go be a record producer in Nashville. And that did not work either. So
um,
now I work at tech.
I mean, I think tech is pretty
Gosh.
interesting.
Pickles.
I think
Yeah,
tech is pretty interesting, but I'm pretty sure my wife
I
would think that you ended up on the worst career path.
probably son of a son.
Son of a
Um, son of a dolphin. Come on. I'm like trying to pan and I keep accidentally like two fingers swiping back. Okay, so I think I messed it up.
Yep. Oh no, you can still hit recraft.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Um,
So generally, I think this is pretty impressive software.
I also am pretty impressed with it. Yeah. I mean, like everything else, this is yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Change the style and do it again. Sorry, just I
I actually have a real thing I want to use this for. I just realized.
did you?
I just realized that like I
Generate
need this. I need this so bad in some actual projects.
generating icons that are all consistent.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
Like,
and I think there in the pro version there were more design styles.
really?
Because I think if you go back to their website when we were looking at, they had like plastic, right? If you remember.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Oh, and can you
How are they
change
doing
the
that?
palette? Change the palette. Now on the bottom, add
Where?
palette, right?
Oh, add palette. So, and then I have to recraft it. So here's what's cool is you can put your own brand palette in, and then you can have it create
Oh,
iconography along your brand palette.
sick.
That's that right there is worth the fucking. Oh, this is gonna be the same palette.
Um,
Um.
that is so sick though. Change the style
Oh,
again.
look at this level
Oh,
of detail. Exclude from image. Negative prompting.
oh, go to level of detail.
Primitive to
Oh, extreme.
extreme.
Let's go to extreme.
Okay, hang on. Let it finish generating it, then we'll do it again. This tool is awesome.
So,
Wow.
one of the guys I used to work with used to call me a Sith Lord because I was so extreme about everything. I'm like, no, like never. Yeah, I extreme as a setting, by the way, I love it. It's not like,
So
hey,
good.
this is super detailed. It's extreme.
Extreme. Level 1000. It's amazing.
He's got a power level of 1,000. Yeah, we're definitely all nerds.
We are nerds. Yeah. But you know what? If you're watching this,
So are you.
you probably are too. Most of you are.
Whoa.
That is fucking incredible.
All right, now switch the style. We gotta do one more. I know we're running almost out of time here, but go to icon instead of vector art on the top.
Oh.
Go down. Is that it? Okay, so I do think there are other styles
Okay.
that they're not giving you access to on the
Crosshatch.
free version.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead and try one on the icon style. Yeah.
I'm gonna try crosshatched icons, which like really appeals to my former architecture self because I used to have to crosshatch by hand all the time.
Um, but like legit, those are really impressive and hard to pull off having something of the same color style like that.
Really impressive. Really impressive. Those all look perfectly like they're the part of the same set. Um,
I I I would, gosh, it's ridiculous. Okay.
honestly, it's ridiculous.
I the thing is like, okay, how much money do I have to pay to have 100 items in an image set? Right. Like, because that I think they could probably charge, because now do me a favor, create a new image set crosshatched, right, and try to match the style. I bet you it's not going to do anywhere near as well. So
How do you mean?
well, it's not going to match the previous image set.
Oh, it won't match this. No, you want to be able to add more images to the set.
That's what I'm
Yes,
saying. Like, how
I
much,
agree with that.
if they could charge $100 to make the image
Mhm.
set 10 times as big, right? Like, I don't know. It's just because if you're generating icons, if you're trying to design a style, now maybe it gets close enough if you do crosshatch with extreme detail and then you add the color palette the same way.
Let's try it.
Let's do
Let's
like a zoo: dog, cat, elephant,
say okay. Dog, cat, elephant,
uh,
monkey, bird.
dolphin, because we already
Dolphin.
did a dolphin. And then you
We'll
have to switch.
add the same palette
Okay, cool. And then change the same style, crosshatch. Oh,
and change to icon crosshatched
all
recraft.
right. Let's see what it looks like. If you're close enough, like it might not matter, but like,
But like to your point, where you're driving at here, which I think is dead nuts on, is one of the most challenging and pain in the ass things about design and UI design is iconography. And we love to use iconography because it looks good, helps people to understand interfaces better. It adds some visual kind of pizzazz and interest to the screen. Problem is finding icon libraries that are all consistent, and then like you have a thing where you're dead nuts on. Wow.
Justin, I mean, I don't need to tell you, but like for websites, so but skipping the apps and the design like Justin's talked about, but even for websites, having the same theme on your images on all your pages just goes, it takes that like polish to the next level.
Absolutely, right. And like I'm thinking right now, I'm working on a project. I won't go into details about it, but I'm working on a project where I'm gonna probably eventually need like 100 different icons for 100 different custom things that have to do with school. There's not an icon library out there for it. It's not a thing I'm gonna find on Envato or fucking Theme Forest. Um, but this solves that problem. I love how the dolphin like has this
Can you copy and paste an image set? The whole image set? Yeah.
Copy. No. Well, I can. I don't know.
Can you
I think I
highlight?
can do it to the individual images. Yeah.
Oh, but you can't highlight and copy the whole image set?
No. No. Well, I mean, I do copy, paste here. Nothing happens.
All right. I was curious if it would allow you to like create permutations relatively quickly that way, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can, but you can drag them out kind of
Yeah, that's
manually like
fine.
this, you know.
Because I'm like the animal one, for instance, go to the image set. I'm just now I know that we're and switch the style.
Yeah.
Go to vector. I want to go to something like super complex vector art and go to
Lino cut.
vector kawaii. Wow. Okay, lino cut. And then was it on extreme detail already? I think it was, right?
Oh, you can't do Lino cut with extreme detail.
Interesting. Okay, so this is another thing they're doing really well. Then they're exposing different levels of complexity based upon like your choices.
Which tells me that they've done a lot of prompt engineering and a lot of work in the background to figure out what works and what doesn't, and what you can push and what you can't, and in which ways you can push it and which ways you can't, right? Which is why the quality is as good as it is. This is actually an exercise in really, really excellent prompt generation.
Um,
And it takes a second, but you would expect that. It's probably faster in the pro version.
failed.
Ruh-roh.
Actually, could be the color palette too. It's just one color.
Oh, you're right. Now this is gonna be curious to see if it knows that the image is behind there, or if it just now thinks it's all good.
It's just gonna start over. I mean, I can't imagine how much they're paying for processing with something like this because they're kicking
Yeah,
off
it
6
can't be cheap. I
threads.
mean, yeah, it can't be cheap because image generation is not exactly dirt cheap.
Yeah, and we've generated what? How many images
Yeah.
already?
Yeah. I mean, 18.
Wow.
I mean, it's like
I've
really impressive. Now, the thing that I'm curious about is what would be really cool is if you could do an image set from an existing image, right? Like if you could bring in something you already have and you're like, great, I've got this icon, make me 5 more that match it instead of having to generate it all here.
yeah,
Right.
so click on the options. There was nothing there, was there?
Where here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No.
it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, again, I don't know what's available on the pro side.
Right.
What about the upload image there? That's
Upload
next
image.
to the text. I don't know what that is.
Oh, import image up to 400. Okay, cool. Well,
Oh, you
obviously
already
we
did that.
already did
That's
something
fine.
like this. Let's take our cover. What would damn gestures? Okay. Like, could I generate an image set off of this? No. So that's what is that stuff?
Oh,
You can add a look at that. You can
yeah.
also change the aspect ratio. Okay, we've obviously talked about this for a long time, and everybody's probably getting bored just watching us twiddle buttons here. But
Yes.
this is one to keep looking at. This is one to keep working with and to see what we can do with it because it is really impressive,
All right.
actually.
You know, I'm going to call it now. Adobe's attempted purchase of Figma failed. Adobe is going to buy Recraft.
You might be right. Or Figma. Figma buys recraft and puts the vector generation engine into Figma. And then it is lights out Adobe. Peace. Goodbye. You lost. You're done.
All right. So that's the title of the episode when we do get around to loading it. It's Figma should buy
Bye
Recraft.
bye, Adobe.
Bye bye Adobe. Figma plus Recraft equals
Yeah.
perfection.
Figma's new acquisition target.
All
Well,
right.
that was a great one. This was an awesome one to look at. Amazing. Recraft.ai. Check it out, guys. It's really, really good.
Have a good one.